pra cá são as cidades. Porque pra cá
You want the map so you can see which way to go?
Öyle. Hayır.
Make sure when your video's ready. Oh. Never mind. I'll.
So I guess our no. Hey, Kathy.
Now in just a few minutes, your sea cab will
bottom and the middle. Yes, the bubble. So there's something in there.
Oh, in the bubble.
Yeah, in the bubble.
Just like you and I do. Generally, they surface every 3 to 5 minutes. However, they can remain submerged up to 20 minutes. And you'll notice when they surface, they have 2 nostrils on their snout that open and close with watertight valves, allowing them to take a breath. They are also an herbivore, so they do not eat any meat or fish of any kind. Romaine lettuce makes up the main portion of their diet here, along with apples, carrots, and bananas. And in their natural environment, they feed on seagrasses, water hyacinth, and lots of different types of vegetation. Now, to obtain this body size on that sort of diet, it does require them to have a very large appetite. And manatees do spend up to 8 hours a day just eating, and we do feed out on average from 60 to 75 minutes of animal every day. They keep us busy. A year here in Florida, to boating accidents, also pollution and loss of habitat. A lot of people ask what they can do to help these animals, and one of the easiest things you can do is while at the beaches or on the rivers, making sure your trash stays out of the water will not only help these animals, but the rest of the water viewing area. Your boat upstairs to take a look at these animals from above. As well as you have a nice afternoon here in the castle.
Look at the face of it. What is that? Stingray.
Look at his face. Look at his face.
They said stingray.
Well, I keep a safe distance. My cameras will zoom in for the closest look yet at volcanic vents. The water is hot enough.
Look, it won't even open. Won't even open. Let me see. Okay. Let's go. Let's see what else we got to see. Están en piso grave y está atrás de la ropa. Pero what's the job?
And not ready to go to the next one? Alrighty. We'll go to the big one, the second one.
That's supposed to be the start, right?
Yeah.
Look at this guy coconut. Oh, look at him.
That fish
Where is it? Right there?
Where'd the seahorse go? Oh, there it is.
Right there.
Oh, there's what are those? Oh, there's another one right there. It's red
There's another fish that's hiding from the car watching the camera. I like the little seahorse. Look at it.
Let's see him come out. He looks like an owl.
They set it over there. He hides in there. Wait for it. It blends in with the bottom of the thing.
That guy. Look at that fish right there. Looks like it's trying to blend in.
Oh yeah, right there.
Look at that one right there. Oh, I see a little fish hiding.
Big fish. What is that? Oh, look at these guys. Looks like they ran into a wall.
Yeah. They butt heads.
Oh, but look how shiny and pretty they are. Look at their mouths. They look like they have frowns.
Down syndrome fish. Where's the stingray, Kathy?
I saw that. There.
Wow, right there.
I saw that.
Stingray.
I
Yeah.
saw that kind of one. It's the one with this and it has that. I'm not talking about tourist things, really.
Look at this.
What? Look at all the...
Oh, look at that. Just went to the bathroom.
Dust right there, huh?
They just went through it.
Look at that. What's that called?
160.
I saw that one when
Oh, there's a couple of stingrays.
Where's that big fish? I think they're into a rain. I think they're... That's cool. But those kind of stingrays are into a rain. Look at that.
any questions on the menu?
Yeah.
I heard a beep again. Oh, it's
Every time I start it, it beeps.
I'll be right back with your wife.
What do you think this is?
Beneath the surface of the land, roots trap water from the flowing mud, extracting precious nutrients and minerals. These elements, when combined with sunlight, create the diverse living systems of our planet. Cover only a tiny portion of the Earth's surface, but they contain more than half of its plant and animal species. In the desert, nature has created a very different and no less beautiful living system. And while this arid landscape may seem lifeless, it is very much alive. The plants and animals that have learned to survive in these harsh conditions make use of what little water they can find and avoid the scorching rays of the relentless sun. Water and nutrients gradually penetrated the hard surface of this land. Even the hooves of the mighty buffalo helped create the rich soil that would one day become home to the American farm. Of all the forces at work on the land, humans have had one of the most profound effects. The need to produce food for a growing world led to the enormous use and sometimes overuse of the land. In our search for more efficient ways to grow food, we often fail to realize the impact of our methods.
Which is a plant source of chocolate. Shavings from the unripened green papaya fruit can be used to produce pap and a meat tenderizer. Here we are growing coconuts next to the cacao and sweet potatoes beneath it. This is called intercropping, growing 2 or more crops in the same space at the same time. The same space, fertilizer, and pesticides. In the terraces to your right, we're growing rice and peanuts together in the same space, but not at the same time. This is called crop rotation. The location of each crop is switched with the other after the harvest. The nitrogen left in the soil by the peanuts is then used as a fertilizer for the newly planted rice. Farmers often rotate their crops, and you can do the same in your gardens at home.
Yeah.
On either side of the boat, you'll see cassava, which is the source of tapioca. It does very well in the nutrient-depleted soils found in many tropic regions. Next to cassava, we're growing pineapples, and it can take anywhere between 18 to 22 months to produce just one pineapple. Now when I mention fish, you probably don't think of farming, but fish farming or aquaculture can produce tons of fish on a small area like this aqua cell. Aqua, for instance, require very little protein and do well in close quarters. The colored covering of the aqua cell helps reduce the stress of the fish by cutting down the amount of algae growth. When fish are stressed, they can be less, thus creating a smaller crop. For systems like these, we will be able to raise fish in some of the harshest climates.
Little babies.
By the way, the tilapia and catfish and bass raised here are also featured in some of the restaurants around Walt Disney World. Controlled drip irrigation system, which allows the right amount of water and nutrients to be delivered to the roots of the plants through the black tubes laying on the sand. Growing plants on soil is called hydroponics. And over here to your right, you'll see we're growing citrus trees from all over the world. And next to citrus, we're growing cotton, and about 3 months after a flower falls from the cotton plant, the cotton balls form. Lucina is a legume, which means like the peanuts we saw earlier, takes the nitrogen from the air and converts it into a fertilizer. So the soil growing beneath the lucina crops use a free nitrogen fertilizer for intercropping. Now for those of you with fruit trees or gardens at home who've seen the fruits of your labor lying in rot on the ground, surely appreciate our production or string greenhouse. In here, everything is grown vertically. This not only allows much better airflow through the leaves, but it also eliminates the rotting of any fruit.
Look at the lettuce.
We've also reduced the amount of water and nutrients used in this laboratory by 70% using a computer device called the lysimeter, which was invented here at the land. This allows us to continuously weigh the plants and then based on the weight, water them as needed. Each year, we pass a story about 1/3 of the world's food crops. So here at the land, we use what is known as integrated pest management. That means we use pests to help control pests. For instance, aphids eat plants. So we release ladybugs to eat the aphids. This reduces the amount of pesticides used by 60%.
That's kind of eggplant, I guess.
Oh,
All the peppers.
just peppers. Pepper.
You can see and taste the results of our experiments by visiting the Gardenville Restaurant and the Sunshine Season Food Fair. These restaurants use the vegetables and herbs grown here in our greenhouses. Our last laboratory is a creative greenhouse where we are using aeroponics as another way of growing plants without soil. Here, the plants take exposed roots, receive the oxygen they need from the air, and the water and the nutrients are sprayed on as they pass through these mist boxes. Once again, these plants receive the right amount of water and nutrients at just the right time. At our biotechnology lab, scientists are studying the production of bananas and the ripening of peaches.
Yeah.
We're also using techniques which are identical to those used at the Kennedy Space Center. Some of the techniques you're seeing here today are being used right now in farms around the world. Others will become more common as we develop new innovative methods of agriculture. Methods that will increase productivity while striving to maintain the natural resources of the land.
On our voyage of discovery, we've seen the richness and diversity of the land.
সমাপ্লানটাই কি করেছিল
Maybe we can buy some. No. We'll go that way. We're in the France part of Epcot, and it's almost 4 o'clock in Morocco, actually. Where?
You'll slap your penny. Oh, I say. It's stopping. Your slap can. Maybe it's stopping.
Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen. As one final reminder, please no flash photography during the presentation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see the actual presentation like any you've ever seen before.
A seeming ethnic anarchy. Then, in a little time, we became more alike than we were different. A new society. Not great, but fitted by our very thoughts for greatness. Excuse me, Mr. Twain.
What's that?
Perhaps you recognize those inspiring words from one of America's great writers.
No, Dr. Franklin, I don't recall writing anything like that.
Oh my, of course not. They're from the pen of John Steinbeck, here in the 20th century. Why, it seems he has nearly the same spirit as the founding fathers themselves.
Well, listen to the proud elder statesman.
Mr. Twain, pride is one of our national...
Somewhere by Germany. We are in Germany. Yeah.
¿verdad, envidiosita?
That's when I wanted to get a picture for my mom.
Okay,
Please join us for this special presentation at the China Showcase in just 2 minutes.
China Showcase? Right here or right here?
o'clock, we will present our spectacular International Salute Illuminations. The show takes place on and around the World Showcase Lagoon. The countries themselves become the performers, shimmering with colorful lights, projection, and special effects. Dazzling fountains, lasers, and fireworks are highlighted in this fantastic trip around the world. Viewing locations for the show are available all along the World Showcase promenade. Once again, this evening's performance, Illuminations, will begin at 10 o'clock tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, Young Acrobats. We hope you enjoy this special presentation exemplifying the cultural heritage of China. Thank you for joining us and have a pleasant day here at Epcot.
Hey, Amanda.
Your brain doesn't get up.
Can't see your eyes. I can see them now. On the way to the Kennedy Space
Look
Center.
at my hat hair.
Yeah, hat hair.
Quite yet. They have built some new dormitory rooms for the children, and there will be these buildings to the east side of the building here, these weird shaped buildings. These are two new dormitory facilities. It's where the kids stay when they're at camp. And we are now crossing onto the Space Center property. tour today, you will be able to see the ocean from one of the areas where the bus stops. See a little bit of his head and a little bit of his tail sticking out of the water there.
A Lego, man. A Lego knot. See the movie we're going to see here? Destiny in Space. There's Amanda. Gemini Titan II space vehicle. Hey, Amanda. Yeah. That's a big engine, huh? One of the jets.
Working all kinds of jobs, from cutting lawns to fixing plumbing to providing security. And of course, we've got lots of engineers and technical support people to help us operate the space shuttle. Altogether, about 16,000 people work here every day.
We have a round-the-clock workforce here on the Space Center.
Coming up on your left is the largest structure in the industrial area, the Operations and Checkout Building. It's a real busy place. 600,000 square feet of offices, laboratories, and spacecraft assembly areas.
In the high bays of this building, we process Space Lab, a scientific space laboratory built by the European Space Agency. We put Space Lab inside the cargo bay of the shuttle, then send it up into space where astronauts perform experiments inside it.
Operations and Checkout dates back to the 1960s. It was built to process the Apollo modules.
Dried, they're inspected, repaired if necessary, and then repacked. So that one down by the front-end loader has been repacked. So you see it's ready to be put in another booster. So we use the boosters and parachutes over and over. The training building where the astronauts train for their missions to and from the moon, they use simulators. Now after Apollo, we used the building as a recreated firing room. It was one of the tour stops for a number of years. All the equipment we had in there is now being moved up to the new Apollo Saturn V Center. The building will be ready by the early December.
Represents the future. In there, we're preparing for our next major project, the International Space Station. The space station will be a permanent orbiting laboratory.
The Vehicle Assembly Building is where we put all the pieces of the shuttle together. The solid rocket boosters, the external tank, and the orbiter. It's the final stop for the shuttle before the launch pad.
I think you'll all agree that the first thing you notice about the VAB is that it's big.
In fact, we're looking at one of the largest buildings in the world. Let me give you an idea how big this building is. Do you see the stripes on the flag up there that we painted to celebrate this nation's bicentennial? Well, we could drive this bus down one of those stripes. It took us 6,000 gallons to paint that flag. The VAB is 525 feet tall. That's 2 football fields long. You could easily slide the Statue of Liberty through its doors. It's so big, it's even rained inside.
The VAB was built to assemble the huge Saturn rockets used for the Apollo program, and then it was adapted for the shuttle.
Now, if I can only take you inside, that can lift between 250 and 325 tons each.
There are 2 basic tasks that have to be completed in the VAB. The pieces of the shuttle have to be lifted from a horizontal to a vertical position. That's a major job, considering that the orbiter alone weighs about 200,000 pounds.
Power poles to the very tallest pine tree. The nest is 7 or 8 feet in diameter, second row over, tallest tree. It's that huge nest, looking directly to your left. Later I will point the nest out again and tell you more about the bald eagles. So we got a little wide load going down the road there. Columbia will be launched again November the 6th. Discovery's in Bay 2. She'll get into rotation for next year. Of course, Atlantis is out at Pad A inside the rotating service structure. Endeavour out at Rockwell in California.
Sally, as an astronaut, you know better than anyone that we have to perform our work perfectly. We have to protect the safety of the crew. That's why, for many of the most critical systems, for instance, the life support system, we have 2 complete backup systems. And if one little thing is wrong with either backup system, that orbiter is not going to leave this building.
Al, you're part of the Discovery ground crew, right?
Yes, I am, Sally. Each one of the 4 orbiters has its own ground crew. You wind up feeling real loyalty to your orbiter. After all, you can stay with one orbiter your whole career. We do expect to use the same orbiters well into the next century.
Al, of all the thousands of tasks you perform on an orbiter, what's the most time-consuming?
Probably inspecting and repairing thermal tiles that cover the orbiter. There are more than 20,000 of them. We have to make sure every micro-inch is perfect. That's because the tiles act as the orbiter's skin, protecting it from the cold of space, which can reach 200
We'll stop in this area a little bit later.
zero in the shade, to the tremendous heat of reentry. When you're coming back into Earth's atmosphere, Sally, and hitting 2,500 degrees, we don't want any weak spots in your orbiter.
I appreciate it, Al.
The launch pad's in the distance to the front and right. Pad A is where Atlantis is, the front and right. And Pad B to the left is empty. We'll go by Pad B and stop on the back side of Pad A. So yesterday at 2:30, we rolled out from Bay 3 over there to your left. So the bottom doors are closed right now. There is a platform in Bay 1 where the doors are open a little bit.
Sally, there's something I've always wanted to ask you. Every time I've worked in the crew
and sit on the walls.
Now look in Bay 1, those are the shiny white solid rocket boosters. You can see the bottom of the one on the right hand side. We've already taken the external tank. And of course Atlantis, we took her off first. And now we're going to destack those boosters and clean that adhesive. Then we'll put the old adhesive on and we'll be ready to use them again. So there you can see the other stack, just the bottom part we can see. And you see a little bit of the platform. So we have 3 platforms, and that's platform in the distance, number 3, completely out in the open. So we'll get very close to it, and then we'll see the platform underneath Atlantis out the pad. See, a platform is 25 feet tall, 135 feet wide, 160 feet long, and it weighs 8.5 or 9 million pounds. And then the 4 parts of the shuttle, the boosters, fuel tank, and orbiter, weigh 2.5, 3 million pounds. So to move 12 million pounds from the building to the launch pad, 3.2 or 4.2 miles away, we'll use the crawler transporter, and we'll see it is past this flat top building ahead of us. That's where Endeavour was, Bay 3. So having the platform up off the floor level 22 feet enables the transporter to roll under it. The transporter can go down as low as 20 or up as high as 26 feet on either both ends. So I'll let Sally and Al finish up
I'll
their
remember that next time I'm in there.
You know, Al,
and it's to the left of the little garage over there. So as we get around the corner, it's a gray 8-track vehicle, and it weighs 6 million pounds. It can lift and move more than double its own weight. We have the 3 platforms. Originally, they were brought here in pieces and put together on the pedestals. You have an empty set here to your left, numbered 1 through 6, and there's a set underneath the platform, and there's 2 sets in the building, and a set at each launch pad, and all of them are 22 feet in height and wide enough apart for the transporter to roll between them and under the platform. See, Columbia was launched from atop platform number 3, June the 20th, out at Pad B. The taller objects are tail service masts that feed electrical power and fuel to shuttle orbiter. The smaller objects like rainbirds, so the 300,000 gallons of water emptying in 20 seconds makes a cushion of water. Platform has to endure a lot of heat, noise, and vibration. And the vibration especially could cause damage to the shuttle orbiter, so that water is an excellent cushion. As we get a little closer to the platform, you'll notice it has 3 openings in it. The 2 rectangular openings are where the solid rocket boosters would be stacked. 149 feet tall, 12 feet in diameter, white, very shiny. The boosters arrive in the railway cars with the fuel in them. And there's 4 sections with O-rings in between each, the aft skirt and the tip. Now the fuel tank hangs between the boosters, 154 feet tall, 28 feet in diameter. It does not touch the platform. And the square opening is where the orbiter would be placed vertically, 122 feet in length with a wingspan of 78 feet. So yesterday, as they moved Atlantis out of the building, different tours, we had to stop over by the press area. That's as close as we were. But look in the distance underneath the platform. You can see the transporter has the NASA and the American flag. 8 tracks. Each track is 10 feet tall, 40 feet long, 57 cleats. Each cleat weighs a ton. So there's 456 2,000-pound cleats on a transporter, so inside the fenced area. Before we hear about the transporter, I wanted to refer to the Apollo Saturn V Center. If you look to the right across the waterfront, just above the treetop, you see a huge building. It has 100,000 square feet. We have the Saturn V that was just moved in there recently. We have the lunar lander, the lunar rover, the command and service module, 2 theater areas holding about 400 people, presenting Apollo in the beginning. So we have we'll have food service areas, souvenirs. So it'll be a tour stop where the visitor can spend a few minutes, a few hours, all day if they'd like to. Just the top of the mate-demate device. Looks like scaffolding. The runway is to the left of it. So right now let's hear about the transporter. Over to your left.
Now, if you remember, a while back Al asked a question: how do you move 12 million pounds of shuttle and platform to the launch pad? If you look over to your right, you'll see the answer. The crawler transporter is the biggest tracked vehicle in the world. A crawler weighs about 6 million pounds, unloaded, and has a surface area about the size of a baseball diamond. 2 large diesel engines, which power electrical motors, turn its treads. Operating a vehicle of that size takes a highly trained crew of about 20 engineers and technicians.
So the transporter is 114 feet wide, 131 feet long. Goes down as low as 20, up as high as 26 feet. Powered by diesels, two that are 2,750 horsepower, 16-cylinder Alco diesels. Major work. Those platforms have to be very structurally sound, and so we do a little welding and sandblasting and spray painting, and so they're just about finished working on it. They'll move all this equipment out of the way. The transporter will come around, roll under it. Then the transporter lifts straight up until the platform is sitting on top of it. And then the platform will be moved into the building and lowered onto support pedestals like the ones you see here. Now when we're moving the crawler transporter from the processing facility to the VAB, we use this 76-wheel vehicle there in the portable garage, the Orbiter transporter. That was built to be used out on the West Coast, but after the Challenger disaster, we decided we'd not finish the Vandenberg area. That was for polar orbits. So, of course, we have the only 2 launch pads in the world for the space shuttle here at Kennedy Space Center.
The crawler transporter travels on is called the Crawlerway. It's 130 feet wide, about as broad as an 8-lane highway. To support the crawler's tremendous weight, the Crawlerway has 4 layers of river rock, crushed stone, and compact fill, going down more than 7 feet deep.
It really is quite a remarkable sight to see a crawler making its way down the crawlway at the stately pace of 1 mile an hour, with a fully assembled shuttle sitting on top.
Both launch pads are more than 3 miles away. To get there, it usually takes the crawler about 5 hours.
We have 2 crawler transporters here at the Kennedy Space Center, and they've racked up more than 2,500 miles.
So you can see inside the door a little bit with those solid rocket boosters at the bottom. And I mentioned the Launch Control Center here to your right, several firing rooms behind those vertical shutters.
Directly adjacent to the vehicle is
5 or Saturn 1B because they were empty. They did not fuel those until right before launch. But remember, those solid rocket boosters have the fuel in them when they arrive. And so they keep us at least a mile away. Yesterday, we could not go any further than the press site area. Naval Air Station, so if you look to the front and right across the waterway, Complex 40 is to the far right. The Air Force launched a Titan IV there July the 2nd. That was a military satellite. He's going to talk about Complex 41 closer to us. The other launch pads on the Cape are further to the right or to the south, not visible from here. So the next launch on the Cape is scheduled for August the 30th. There'll be an Atlas II with the GE TV satellite.
Where's the shuttle?
The shuttle is on pad A to the front and left. Atlantis.
That tall tower you see in the distant right is part of Launch Complex 41, where we launch unmanned exploratory spacecraft. It is currently operated by the United States Air Force and supports all versions of the Titan rocket. Now I bet most of you have seen those amazing close-up pictures of Mars. Well,
that's right, Al.
Now we started launching here at Kennedy Space Center in 1967. Apollo was completed here, then Skylab, now the Space Shuttle. Pad A to the right, where we moved Atlantis yesterday, will be on the back side of in just a couple of minutes. So you get off the bus, you'll see both the boosters, all the external tanks, the platform underneath them. You will not see any of Atlantis because she is inside the rotating service structure where she's attached to the boosters and fuel tank. So I guarantee she's there. Saw her all that afternoon yesterday, being moved out to the pad.
Lunar landing program, and then modified in the late 70s for the space shuttle.
A lot of history has been made here. Pad A, to your right, is where almost all of the Apollo flights were launched, including Apollo 11, the first human landing on the moon. Pad B was the launch site in 1975 for the first U.S.-Soviet joint mission, Apollo-Soyuz, launched, and the space program underwent a painstaking re-examination. Finally, on September 29, 1988, the shuttle Discovery lifted off from the same launch pad. Almost 400 modifications had been made to the shuttle, and more than 100 to the pad.
There are 2 main parts to the launch pad, the fixed service structure and the rotating service structure. The steel tower you see rising up 247 feet is the fixed service structure. We use it to gain access to the shuttle. Connected to the fixed service structure is the rotating service structure. We put payloads for the shuttle inside it.
It's an 80-foot lightning rod that provides a cone of protection for the pad and the shuttle during the frequent lightning storms we get here in Florida. Another interesting feature is the 290-foot-high water storage tank next to the pad. Just before the shuttle engines ignite, the tank releases 300,000 gallons of water in 20 seconds.
We saw where the parachutes are refurbished. That fuel tank in between the boosters came in by ocean barge from Lockheed Martin in New Orleans. It is empty and will be until right before launch. There are actually 2 smaller tanks inside that rust-colored tank. The fuel is stored in a big white sphere to the left or east side of the launch pad with red lettering. Liquid hydrogen, coal, 297 degrees below zero. So the big white spheres are like thermos bottles, which will be empty at the time of launch. Within 8.5 minutes into the mission, the
This is the Atlantis. Actually, just the external tank and the solid rocket boosters. The Atlantis is not here right now. It's really windy right now. This has 39B. Okay. Each one of the stars supposedly is 6 feet wide. And supposedly our bus could fit on one of the stripes. There's our bus. Really windy right now. Supposedly this is 126 million cubic feet, 71 stories. Not sure what this building is.
The folded up lunar lander was in it. Then the service module, that's where they had the problem with Apollo 13. And the command module Apollo spacecraft was sort of a gumdrop shaped vehicle, pretty compact for 3 astronauts to spend a number of days going to and from the moon. It would be the only part to return. Now we always recovered and retrieved them, but we never reused them. So that's one reason the space shuttle was developed, so we could reuse the spacecraft over and over. So between 1969 and 1972, 12 astronauts worked on the moon. We had 6 lunar landings. And the Saturn V, once they put the fuel in and they used all the liquid fuel then at the launch pad, the weight increased to 6,200,000 pounds. Right. The runway is to the left of that. I'll let him start and then I'll explain it some more.
The shuttle landing facility is located 2 miles northwest of the Vehicle Assembly Building. It is one of the longest and widest runways in the world.
So the runway is 15,000 feet long, 1,000 foot overrun at either end. It's 300 feet wide. There's a 1 foot slope from the center line to the edges. So if it rains here the morning that a landing is scheduled or the day before real hard, the water...
They kind of like float around. They're tethered. They're tethered. They're tethered. They're tethered in their area that they sleep in.
They have like these little.
Right, they're tethered in those men.
Yeah, and then
They don't lay down because there is no laying down. But
and they even have.
go up the chamber.
So white. Oh, how can you wash your hands like a fall in your hands? That's what they do.
But look how pretty they have Velcro on that, where the feet thing goes.
Yeah, because they float away. That's where we got Velcro from NASA.
And then over here. And this is when they do their experiment. They have to wear gloves, so they have to do that. They're right float off. I guess.
Honey, it's like 2:10.
What time does the movie start?
2:30.
We're supposed to be there at 2:50.
Oh, Manny, you big ham. Right there. Way back there, too.
And that is the point at which you'll ride the arm up through the satellite carrying the specially designed capture bar.
The goal of my work
The thing that stays open is
space technology. You will find it at Spaceport USA. We hope you enjoy your tour of this remarkable vehicle.
That's the sweating the chairs. What's that building right there? You know? Say again?
I forget what they said it is. Shuttle Dome is what it's called.
Oh, Shuttle Dome, huh? Happens to all of us. Even you.
No, I usually know.
upper deck is where you would find the workstations of a space shuttle and the pilot would sit to his right.
Energy, ground track, and nav are all go.
All switches on Explorer's panels are in the exact configuration to reflect a recent landing. The space shuttle re-enters the atmosphere at approximately 17,000 miles per hour. It reduces its speed in a series of S-turns as it glides toward the Earth. Cause an overcutting resulting in twin sound signifying landing is imminent.
The back of the shuttle, aft. We just had some, what do they call them? Space, not space rocks, some ice cream that was like little rocks, space dots. Just like real ice cream, but little dots. Really windy here.
Scale model. This is scale model.
Did the turtles eat the fish? He's after
Oh, where he comes!
I know.
Here he comes!
There's one right there. No, that's a little frog or something. What is that?
A turtle?
Turtle? Oh, yeah.
How do you see the turtles? How do you see them?
Why do they keep swimming around? They look like wood, don't they?
Yeah, that's the idea. Camouflage.
Rosealden, your adventure is about to begin. The Scott C Safari of 3, the Asmar Safari of 3, and the Jim P Safari of 3. Please approach the elephant. Your adventure is about to begin.
Go ahead and eat it.
I don't want to kiss them. Smells like candy.
Ooh.
Avocado and coconut, all originally produced from rainforest, and so do many spices, such as chocolate, cayenne, black pepper, ginger, chili, which is used to make the chili dog, as well as bamboo, balsam, all originally from rainforest.
Safari of 4, One Bird Safari of 2, Susie Safari of 2, Hadley Safari of 2, and Coaster Safari of 2. Please approach the elephant, your adventures are about to begin. Estafello Safari of 2, Nikki Safari of 3, Rotor Safari of 4, One Bird Safari of 2, Susie Safari of 2, Hadley Safari of 2, and Coaster Safari of 2. Please approach the elephant.
I'm Tracy Tracy, learning about the rainforest is embodying all kinds of animals.
Wow. Oh, now stop doing it so close to the camera, Amanda. I keep.
Philip Safari of 6, the Grove Normal is about to begin. Please approach the elephant. Your adventure is about to begin. Measures of RM3, please approach the elephant. Your adventure is about to begin. The 808s of The Phalos of RM2, your safari is leaving without you. Please approach the elephant. The Nickies of RM3, your safari is leaving without you. Please approach the elephant. The Trazoo Safari of 3, please approach the elephant.
This is cool.
There's a Rainforest Cafe. This is all the shops on the marketplace.
goes down.
This is the entrance to the Polynesian Museum. More of it.
Does it go this way? We have to go to the right to go back to the next one?
I know.
This is what we rode on over at the Caribbean beach.
Another picture to hang on our family wall if we ever get
Let me try that. Kills me. Anytime.
I like these necklaces. I've been doing the butt for a long time.
Are you ready? What's your tickets?
Aloha, folks. How's everybody doing today?
Good. 45 exactly. Okay. In the meantime, there's a little shaka bar downstairs, also a place for Italian. Bye.
Say aloha.
Aloha. It says right in there.
Hello. Hello. What else?
Goodbye.
Goodbye. One more.
Hello.
Oh, it also means love. And whenever you hear anyone say aloha, say aloha back. So let's try it one more time. Aloha.
Aloha.
Very good. Mahalo. Over there under the umbrella, we have a beautiful young lady. She's from Samoa. And the greeting from Samoa is Talofa.
Aloha.
Very good. Her name is Leata, and she's making flower lace and flower haze and flower hapus and bracelets. In the islands, we use lots and lots of flowers. They left the women folk all alone. It's pretty tricky, pretty tricky. This is my favorite. It's the helicopter ride around the Magic Kingdom and landing here at our luau. And then the hardest motion to do is 4, each going in a separate direction. And Leata makes it look real easy. Give her a round of applause. Thank you. Leata. This is what she's making for those of you who might be interested in getting some flowers. She also makes flower lace and wristlets for your wrists, if you like. She's over there at our little, under the umbrella. Those of you who've been to her designs on your faces, on your arms, or if you like prefer, a little staff, the hula girl or hula boy, or the word aloha, and a hibiscus, which is the official flower of the Hawaiian Islands. We also have a canoe filled with drinks like soda pop, and wine, and beer, and water. Give them a big round of applause. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Here at our luau. And for those of you who've never been to Hawaii, you really are going to enjoy our luau because we're going to take you off to Tahiti, Samoa, New Zealand, Tonga, and Hawaii. And so you see all the different kinds of costumes, hear the different songs, and see these beautiful dances done by our people. They come to these islands, so it makes it very special. Right now, we'd like to call upon this young man over there with the camera. Would you come up, please? Is this your first visit here? Very good. Do you want to take pictures with us?
The monarchy dress with a few Hawaiian touches was adopted as a formal Hawaiian wedding. One of these gowns. Around her neck a mighty lei, symbol of the couple's finding love. We'd like to dedicate the Hawaiian wedding song to our honeymooners, anniversary couples, and to all of the lovers, young and old alike. The beautiful and graceful dancing of Mapuana. adore. She models one of our favorite styles. It's called the skirt and blouse look.
as it's used to awaken the king and queen each morning. Tonguins that enter carry with them paddles, used not only for dancing, transportation, but also agricultural purposes. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the kingdom of Tonga.
We're here in the Floridian. This is just one monorail station away from the Polynesian we're just at.